restricted the access.
And they'll ban you from the internet completely, not even just Fortnite. They'll ban you. There's a thing called an IP. That's your internet persona.
Internet person.
They'll exterminate it.
Shit.
They're trying to limit our free speech, telling us what we can and can't put in our Unreal Engine software.
Dude, have you seen the guy? Have you seen the guy on TikTok who does the like congressional hearing about TikTok things?
Yeah.
Have you seen those? He's like, what exactly is a TikTok?
What exactly is it? Yeah.
How many TikToks does it make it?
How many
Does TikTok use your camera to take videos? Yes.
Yes or no?
That sounds creepy. Let me hear more about that. What?
Is TikTok connected to the internet?
Yeah.
If TikTok is connected to the internet, does it mean that it can see me? It's really good. I forget his name. I should shout him out. Shout out to that guy on TikTok.
Shout out to TikTok.
I'm sure he has a TikTok account.
I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah, you guys go search TikTok, and I'm sure you'll find him. Search go to TikTok and search TikTok.
Type in the URL at TikTok.
Yeah.
Speaking of, TikTok has added a thing, like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like where if you're watching a video, it will like suggest the search tab for you. So like if you're watching a video, sometimes the search tab suggestion will be completely just off the rails, like not like nonsense. I was watching a video about like some prank some dude was pulling on like his girlfriend or something, and the search was like something relating to squirrels, and I was like, what the hell? Like that has nothing to do with like anything.
Yeah, it's like it should just be if something's like part 3, the next search should be part 4.
Yeah.
That's all it should be.
Dude, yeah.
You're on TikTok, right?
No.
All right.
I don't like to brag about it, but
well, what do you do on TikTok?
Piss my jeans.
I knew you was gonna say that, man. I knew you was gonna say that. That was the first thing I thought about when I thought about Potent Frog pissing his jeans.
Justin, Potent Frog pisses jeans.
I heard it. I knew it off the top of my head. I said, that's got everything to do with piss.
Man, they started saying, you hear about Potent? You hear what Potent? I said, I already know. I already know what
I already know.
Let me tell you, this guy comes in, he says it's got nothing to do with piss. I said, let me tell you, I know my guy Potent. It's got everything to do with piss, all right?
I know my guy. So let's get into it, guys. Fortnite, what's up with that? What's up with their creative mode? Fortnite came out with a creative mode update where they added Unreal Engine 5 to a degree. I guess you guys know about this. I'm sure everybody's heard about this to the umpteenth degree, to an extent, because it caused quite an uproar a few weeks ago. They released it. Everybody was like super hyped about it. You're allowed to upload your own models, upload all sorts of very cool assets and things like that, and make practically your whole game in Fortnite. It's just Unreal Engine dumbed down a little bit. And people were having fun with it. People were making some crazy maps. And then suddenly, almost out of nowhere, like 2 days after the fact, Fortnite came out and said, oh, by the way, if you make anything copywritten or using anybody's IPs, you're going to get a ban. And everybody was really not happy about that, because that basically slashes all of the creativity in half, at least, with what you can do on the platform, and it's caused quite a stir online. So I wanted to get your guys' opinions about that. What do you think? Should they be allowed to use custom assets, or should we be restricted to using our imaginations and making up things on our own?
I think as long as they're not making money on it, it should be allowed. But
Right.
Yeah,
That's
just like
how
a
I feel.
Roblox type of thing. I mean, Fortnite's a free game too.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, there's loads of other games that do that same style of creating. Roblox, like you said, is a good one. Dreams on the PS4. I don't know if a lot of you have played Dreams on the PS4, but that is another game maker, and a lot of people have uploaded and created, copywritten IP usage type stuff in it.
I mean, you would think that like Fortnite themselves wouldn't really care about it because it's not them, just bringing IPs.
Right.
They're just giving the option to do it.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they could get in trouble for other people
Yeah, I mean,
bringing IPs into their game.
have they said anything to that effect of like saying that it would get them in trouble, or have they made any excuse like that?
Their excuse was that they just don't want people using IPs. That was like, I don't think they really went into far much of depth of it, of like why they don't want people using, but that's pretty much assumed that they think they're going to get in trouble to some degree by using the IPs or copywritten material. But
and then and then it would be just disastrous because then nobody would be able to use the IPs.
Yeah, oh god.
That'd be horrible if
But
they had
yeah.
to remove access to using other IPs.
Yeah, it's stupid, but there's other games that have done this free of like any issue for years. I think last year Roblox had a game, like a SpongeBob fan game, that was being made, and Viacom came in and shut it down because it was like using a bunch of like really convincing assets, and it wasn't doing much to discern itself like this is a fan game, apart from like, oh, this is an official SpongeBob Roblox collab. So like they shut it down, and I think they came back under a different development company and started back up, and ever since they started back up, it seems to be fine. So I'm not sure exactly what the deal with that is, but yeah.
I wonder if it has something to do with like how many people are on Twitch like streaming the Fortnite creative stuff, and maybe they can make some argument of like if they're making money on using these IPs or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure how all that stuff works.
I could see that. The only like big issue I could see is like you can upload straight videos now onto the thing. So like if somebody just made a lobby and like popped in a whole movie or something, or a whole episode of a TV show in that lobby, you could just go chill on Fortnite and watch like whole episodes of things if somebody uploaded it illegally, like that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But at the same time, it is a creative tool restricted in your game.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Phew. But it's a creative tool that's restricted to your game and your game alone. It's not like something that people can move from your game to another game necessarily, I guess. Or distribute it in a sort of paid manner, really. So I don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the only thing I can think of is maybe Twitch or YouTube if they're trying to claim that, like, because they are using those creative things to make videos that then in turn make them money. I don't know.
Right.
Strange. But what do you say we get onto old Fortnite creative mode and see if we can't get in trouble?
I'm down. We will get banned pretty quick with us at the helm.
Yeah.
They won't even ban us for Family Guy.
Yeah, they won't even ban us for using other IP. They'll just ban us because we're so bad at creative mode.
Yeah.
Like, guys, just stop. Give up. What do we do? You've been doing this for 4 hours and all you've done is made a really tall ramp. And you keep saying, why can't we jump off of it? Why can't we jump off of it?
It might be because Fortnite's like a battle royale, and Roblox is kind of like designed to be just open source like that. Because like you can't just get on and play Roblox. Like Roblox doesn't have a game mode other than what other people create.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Well, also, Roblox is played by like all people over 18. Fortnite's like a lot of kids, so they're probably just trying to protect the kids.
Yeah, that as well. I already seen videos of like giant twerking Shrek and stuff being imported into the game, so it was already getting pretty wild.
Yeah, they might not just want like Fortnite brand, like Fortnite characters merged with like other IPs and like
Right, yeah.
conflicting manners.
Well, see, here's the thing with that. They're even taking down maps that they have like ongoing collabs with. So like somebody was making an Attack on Titan map that was based off of like the giant war where it's like all the Titans, and they took that map down. But they have like an active Attack on Titan collab with skins and everything, and like so it's a bit confusing, It's like even though you have those properties, why are you blurring out, or
like if somebody made like the
removing
first mission from Halo 1 or something, it's like
Yeah,
they'd get in trouble for it. I mean, they have Master Chief on there.
That alone reminded me, I want to say like a year or two ago, Far Cry 6's or Far Cry 5's map editor, somebody recreated all of 007 in it, and they did it like so well that like the studio sent Far Cry a cease and desist, and Far Cry had to go in on their servers and like take that guy's map down because so many people were playing it, and it was like so well made. So therein lies, I think, their main concern is somebody like going in and creating a game that is like, too reminiscent of another or of an older game, I guess. And I don't know.
We figured it out.
We figured it out. Cracked the code.
They don't want you to make a good game.
Like, I don't know. I guess they just don't want people, taking it too far and making their own thing.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense to a degree, but
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I get it, but it still sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Let my people go.
Let my people go. There's been I don't know, creativity's been lacking in even like films and TV lately for me. Like, the new Jurassic World, it was terrible. It was a whole bunch of cliches packed into a movie. I mean, I was like, if I can say it lightly, I was literally shocked at how awful that last Jurassic World movie was. Like,
I'm pretty sure I saw it, but I don't actually remember if I saw it. Like that's how that's how forgettable
it was. Just so bad. I mean, it was like unbearably bad. And all the parts with like the old cast seemed shoehorned in, and they used like, really cliche stuff with them, like, oh, like I'm back again, like shit like that. It was just very hard to watch. And there were moments like chase scenes that like I seen what they were trying to do, but they were like, they removed the audio from some scenes, and so like there are a couple of chase scenes in the movie where he's like on a motorcycle, running from a velociraptor, and there's no music. And it makes the whole scene feel so weird because there was like blaring music, not like 2 seconds before and 2 seconds after the scene, but it's like, I see what they were going for. They were trying to make it like, oh, I can really be in that moment and feel the raptor running on the ground next to me or something. But like, it just totally fails and makes the whole scene awkward to watch.
Yeah.
And it's
like
just
you have to
weird.
earn that. You have to earn those moments.
Yeah, just earn it. Very weird design choices with the movie that they made. Mandalorian had a really bad episode. There's a couple of like hard to watch episodes that people would say that, they're just not great, but like that third episode of this current season was horrible. I think it's easily hands down one of the worst episodes of TV I've watched ever.
Dude, me and my brother tried to get into that show, and it was good. I mean, I've never been like the biggest Star Wars fan, but I've seen all the stuff. I like it.
Right.
But we actually we stopped watching it after the like frog alien like egg episode where they're like
Yeah, I
trying to
remember
they have
that
to
one,
take
yeah.
care of the like mother of those eggs.
Yeah.
And she's pretty much just like neglecting them and like letting them
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're acting like it's some huge deal that protecting these eggs, and then she's just like, I'm gonna go swim in the pool and let them fucking sitting on the ship or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even remember the whole episode.
That's
But
one
like,
of the episodes that people didn't care for.
we were just waiting for something interesting to happen, and it was like, okay, I don't know, I don't feel like watching any more of this show. But
that's one of the biggest problems the Mandalorian has is the filler episodes people just tend to hate the filler episodes, which I'm indifferent about filler episodes. I love some filler episodes because I am obsessed with Star Wars lore and like certain lore of certain things. So like I can really get into it, and so filler episodes don't bother me too bad. But it's when they're done horribly and serve almost no purpose is when I cannot fucking stand it.
yeah,
And this third episode of the current season was horrible. It was literally, and I said this just a second ago about what we were talking about before, but like it's literally like they just took a whole bunch of movie cliches and packed it into an hour. I mean, it's about the new guy on the ship, and he's like, oh, like I'm so shy and new, and what if people don't like me? I was part of the Empire before, like what if they find out? And then he's like walking to his quarters that night, and like it's like a group of fucking dudes, and they're all eating around the lunch table, and they're like, hey, newbie, come over here. And they're like poking fun at him at
they
first.
throw an apple core at him.
Yeah, and then like they're poking fun at him at first for like a second, and then they warm up to him like real quick, and then he's like part of the crew, and then like you get the two lead actors are unbearably bad. Like it's like they just plucked them off the street with no prior experience or direction in the scene at least. And like nothing against them, I'm sure they could probably do well if they were given proper direction, but
nothing against them, they're just terrible.
They did horrible. I mean, they really did horrible, and
I just can't stand to see them on the screen.
Well, there's a difference in not being given direction and then not even trying to have a direction for yourself when you're doing the scene. You know what I mean? It's like just not even trying to. It's like when you're voice acting for something. I've caught myself so many times doing like recordings for stuff where I'm just reading the line. I'm not even giving it like the energy that it needs. And like, I have to stop myself and restart because like, even if I'm not necessarily following the script and exactly what's happening to a T, I can kind of get a gist of it, by rereading my line a few times and like kind of, imagining what's going on. It's almost like they just didn't even attempt with that. Like, it just feels like they were thrown in there. They're like, hey, just say this real quick and, we'll get the lines done and you're out of here for the day.
Yada yada newbie, yada yada. You're not so bad.
yeah. It's I don't even know what they were thinking. And you can look it up online, like everywhere on comment sections all across the board has pretty much agreed that episode was terrible. The only place sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the only place I've seen support for it was like on Instagram, a couple comments on an advertisement, and people were like, y'all are just haters. This episode was not that bad. It's like, oh my gosh.
There's always a couple of those. I was going to say, I mean, talking about filler episodes, as somebody who watches a decent amount of anime, they're notorious for massive amounts of filler episodes, especially like older ones. And I was on a tear of like watching One Piece.
Yeah.
And
he called it before you even said it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was watching One Piece, and I think they've probably got like 700, 800 episodes right now.
Yeah.
And I think I watched a bunch. I've probably still got like 200 left.
1,055 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like, I was gonna say, it's one thing to watch an anime that's like, maybe 20 minutes of actual content. And you can kind of skip through those if it's not anything you're interested in, whatever.
Right.
And it's also you're watching a show that's already come out. You know?
Right. Yeah.
You're watching a show that like doesn't really like you're not looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can skip through shit. You can look up what happens in the next few episodes and maybe skip around. But like something like The Mandalorian, it's a new show that's coming out, and you look forward to this hour-long episode that comes once a week, and then it's just a shit episode. You're like, well, okay, I just wasted an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Like things like that just like really get under your skin a little bit because you wait a whole week and then they come out with like some of the worst television you've fucking seen in your life from like such a big company and a big studio and a big show, like one of the biggest shows ever right now. And then they pull some shit like that on you and you're like, what the hell is this? Like, why? Like all of a
this
sudden,
wooden acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're taking a break day at the studio or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like, everybody half-assed everything today.
Yeah.
Also, I always wonder when stuff like that happens. I'm like, there's got to just be some explanation that comes back to like money. Like I'm sure it's just somebody higher up that wasn't even really involved with the show made them do something on some timeline that like made it crap. But it's still, I mean, it doesn't make the episode any better. So
yeah, it seems every like big show that comes out, it'll have like a season, and then the producers are like, all right, guys, how can we make this just horrible starting now? How can we bring everything downhill starting now? Drop everything we've already earned. Let's just throw it away.
That's how I felt Walking Dead did after they introduced Negan and everything started getting crazy. And then they started killing off people and then
it's because they flunked out on the budget. It's like the first season, I think they were like in the city, there was zombies everywhere, and then for 3 seasons they were like in a farm out in the middle of a field doing absolutely nothing.
A lot of that attributed to they fired the first director who they had hired for the first season or two, and the first director who they hired, he knew the source material, he had like read up on it, studied up on it, knew what it was about, and then they fired him after like a season or two, replaced him with a guy who like never read anything about it so much as didn't even like really watch the show much.
Actually couldn't read.
Couldn't read. He was incapable. Completely incompetent.
Hired Charlie Kelly to direct.
But
they didn't even
they did that twice.
They didn't even give Rick a hook for a hand due to low budget costs.
Yeah.
It's like in the comic, Rick literally gets his hand cut off so early.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things like that. They did that twice. They fired the second director after he started kind of getting in the groove of things too, and then hired another director who also didn't know what this source material was. So they went through so many directors, and it just ended up being a bad show. I've not seen many movies out recently either that were.
Yeah, they stopped making movies.
Yeah,
Avatar 2 was like full of wooden acting. Every time Spider walked on set, I just instant cringe.
Avatar 2 it's a fun. How do I put it this way? The Avatar series as a whole is a fun series to watch and sit and just like goof off and like turn your brain off and enjoy. The story is horrible. The story is like some of the most, cut and dry shit you could probably come up with.
Talk about 80s like action, like every scene is like super small and quick, but it's like a 3-hour movie with that. So it's just like you're not really close or connected to anybody by the end of it. It's just all a big shebang.
He's trying to do a Lord of the Rings thing where Lord of the Rings set this precedent for like trilogy movies or franchise movies where they like people think they have to be like 3 hours long and they have to be like a billion movies. And like I think James Cameron, like I love James Cameron. He made, Alien and Titanic, and Alien's like my favorite movie. and I think he's done a lot of good stuff. And literally, three of his movies are like the top grossing movies like of all time. You know, like
Terminator.
some of the biggest movies of all time are his. And you can't deny that he's a great director. But he's trying to do the Lord of the Rings thing, like extended edition, where they came out with even more footage, and he's just like, what are you going to add to it other than pretty shots? You know, it's not, you're not adding like dialogue or extra scenes that are cool and add to it. You're just adding, you know, cool things to look at more than anything.
No, right here it says Avatar 4 and 5 are set to release on 2026 and 2028.
Yeah, I was reading a couple articles that said that Avatar 3 is set to release the same year as Sonic the Hedgehog 3, like around the same time.
Yeah.
They both got the same release date, so that'll be interesting. But
maybe they'll just combine the two movies.
Yeah. But yeah, Avatar's a fun franchise to watch. It's just a lot of the fun comes in like, oh wow, that's pretty, or oh wow, that looks cool, or you know, it's just part of the adventure more than anything, I guess, than the story. The story is like there to pad things along, but it's more of like, look at these creations that I made. Like, look at this, you know, tribe of aliens that I've created, and look at how they live and how they are and all their ways. And
yeah, James Cameron, he said, "This is the Avatar universe. Be in it for 3 hours. If you like it or not, fuck you." Like, I respect him for that shit, really, man.
Yeah. You knew it was going to stay though, because like Disney came out and like made a whole theme park of their park for it. So like they did a themed section of Pandora there that you can go to. They have a whole, you know, the Navi boat journey ride or whatever it's called. The same with Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 got announced. People were losing their shit. Like, oh, that sucks. Toy Story 3 was a good ending, or it was either Toy Story 3 was a fine ending, or Toy Story 3 was stupid and they didn't need to make it. Why are you making more? My opinion, I think Toy Story 3 ended stupidly. I thought it was a terrible ending. I thought it was just the dumbest ending. I think it was totally needless. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know about you.
I remember like, how it ended.
He like gives his toys away to the little girl, right? And then
that's Toy Story 3. That's Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of 4. I got a mistaken. Toy Story 4 had an awful ending. I think Toy Story 4 had a horrible ending. Toy Story 5 got announced. Okay, I misspoke this whole time. Toy Story 5 got announced, and then people were like, "Oh, Toy Story 4 was like stupid, and Toy Story 3 had a good ending." Yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Toy Story 4 had a horrible ending. Toy Story 3 I could live with. Toy Story 4 I think had a really bad ending, because they like, it's like Woody and Buzz, and they're like, Buzz is trying to find Woody the whole movie and get back to him because he ran off, and like they finally get together. It's like, okay, bye, Buzz, and then he like leaves, and then Buzz is like, goodbye, Woody, and then they like shake hands and leave, and like it's like, the whole point is like, you can live like a free toy now. Why are you like just ignore? Why is one of the main characters completely ignoring the whole point of the movie, and then the other one completely embracing it? Like, I don't understand.
That's the dichotomy of toys, dude.
Yeah. And then they constructed the Toy Story Land after like Toy Story 4 came out. So like you knew they were going to make another anyway. Yeah. And people were just like shocked at the fact that they announced Toy Story 5. And it's like, what did you expect? They're not going to make a franchise or a section of the park dedicated to the franchise that's dead. You know what I mean? They might do a ride. They might do a ride based off of an old franchise, but they're not going to do a whole like themed section of the park for a dead franchise.
What about the Toy Story
3 years after the fact? Toy Story 3, the game, dude. Toy Story 3, the game was literally so great, dude. That was like such a good game. Like it had a sandbox mode and everything. Oh my God. That was such a good game.
Ghost Town Hub.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, that was a really good game. So many memories. Yeah, I
don't think they should have made a movie past Toy Story 1, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But
I could see that.
Yeah. Ever since they introduced the female character, I was just like, no, I'm
Oh
kidding.
my gosh.
Kidding, of course.
I thought I never cared much for Toy Story 2, but I honestly like 3 probably better than I liked 2.
2 is like a drag off the first success. Really,
Yeah.
I feel like
2
first
was
blew
like
up
the
so
one.
hard.
It was like the old man in the box is the bad guy, right? And he's like, he's messing with him.
He meets
There's
all
that, like,
the
creepy
Woody's Roundup characters.
There's like the creepy toy guy like working on him.
Cringe,
yeah. He owned the toy store.
Oh yeah, it was like the Al's Toy Barn and all that.
Toy Barn.
Yeah.
That was a missed thing they should have done for Kingdom Hearts 3. They had Toy Story World, and instead of using Al's Toy Barn, they just had some like generic toy store, and it was just like so
Al
like what the
McWiggin.
hell? Like why did you not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Al McWiggin, bro.
Al McWiggin. Kingdom Hearts 3 was very disappointing in a lot of aspects, but I know you guys aren't
Stinky
big
Pete.
Kingdom Hearts guys.
Stinky Pete became like
we're
villain.
not big Kingdom Hearts guys because we like girls.
No, I just never really had the chance to play Kingdom Hearts. Like it wasn't.
It's fun. It's a
Yeah,
really
same
good
here.
game. It's one of my favorite RPGs ever, easily. But I love crossovers in general, so I've got a soft spot for that, and I grew up playing it. So
was that just was Kingdom Hearts just PlayStation?
It was up until recently when they like re-released all the games and like upgraded them. Then they released them on like everything. So they're multi-console now. They're on Switch and Xbox and PlayStation and PC now.
Yeah, I remember when they were on Game Pass a while back.
Yeah.
I grew up. I had like only Nintendo stuff growing up.
Yeah.
And if I ever had anything that wasn't Nintendo, it was like at least 2 generations behind. So
yeah, I feel that. I didn't get my PS3 until like damn near 5 or 6 years after it was like after it came out.
Yeah,
and
I got an Xbox 360 when we were like seniors in high school, I think.
Yeah.
I think I got a 360. Like people had Xbox One since like 8th grade, you know.
Dude,
I got a 360.
Throwbacks. Yeah, as soon as I got my PS3, people were like already getting the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just so upsetting. I remember somebody in my family that was like dating a family member at the time or something had came to our house and was like, "Hey, like, oh, you're playing PlayStation downstairs?" Because I didn't specify what PlayStation I was playing. He's like, "Oh, I got games for that. Do you want them?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he brought them over, and they were all like PS3 games, and I only had a PS2 at that time. So I was like, "Oh!" They just sat in the basement, like me staring at these PS3 games for like
remember that
2 months.
Was it like Modern Warfare 2 or something? Like
it was Modern Warfare 2, Fallout 3. And something else, and it was the first time I would have ever experienced those games, you know. So like they were just sitting there taunting me with like
for some reason
every fiber of my being.
For some reason I feel like somebody came over to Mike's one time. It's like, "Here you go, Nigel. I got you a present for your birthday," and like you knew it was a game, you know, because it was wrapped, but you opened it and it was like a generation ahead or something, or below or something.
I want to say that was Mom that did that, and it was Mom. She bought me the Avatar: The Last Airbender game for my DS, and I didn't have a DS yet. And she knew that. She knew I didn't have a DS. And so she had bought me a DS and the game, and then had me open the game first.
Okay.
And so when I opened Avatar for the DS, I started bawling, crying, because I thought she had wasted the money.
Right,
you know, for me, it was
Yeah.
like a sentiment thing. And so I was like really upset that she cared and did all this stuff. And I was like really heartbroken that I couldn't even like enjoy it. And then like I opened the DS and like everything was just like everything came together. That's a core memory for me for sure.
Mom's always a trickster with the presents, dude.
Yeah.
She'll like have it in some dumb box. She'll like unwrap it and it'll be like Keurig coffee maker. And you'll be like, "What is this?"
The fake
dude?
box
Like,
is the best.
The fake boxes are always every year thing.
Yeah. That reminds me. I remember when I got a GameCube. I got it for my birthday.
Yeah.
My mom got it for me, but it didn't like come in the mail, or I guess she ordered it or something. It didn't come for my birthday, like when we were opening presents and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And so one of the presents I opened was like this little tiny box. And I opened the box and it just has a note in there. And it says, I owe you Nintendo GameCube, like one Nintendo GameCube, and just a little note that said that. And I was like, I don't even know how old I was, maybe 8 or 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever, however old we were when the GameCube was like, I don't know, a thing. And I'm reading it, and I don't even know what IOU means, because she wrote like the letters IOU, not like IOWEU. She wrote IOU, and I'm like, I was so confused. I was baffled, but I was reading the words Nintendo GameCube, so like part of my brain was like, I think I'm supposed to be excited, but I don't know what this means. So
Dude, that's
I'm like confused looking at the note, and I look at her and I'm like, huh? And she's like, right, get it? Like, you're gonna get it a GameCube. And I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to say to me, woman. And I think my brother or somebody, or maybe my sister, came up and was like, it means you're gonna get it like in the mail or whatever. You're gonna get it later. I'm like, fuck yeah. I was so excited. But yeah, that initial like reading the note and my mom like expecting me to be excited, and I'm like, I don't know what this means.
I've had a similar experience, ironically, with an IOU thing. Like I wrote out an IOU like as a joke, and I wrote it like that, like the IOU instead of whatever. And when I gave it to, I think it was Taylor, I gave it to her, and she just looked at it confused for like a solid 5 minutes. Didn't know what the hell it was. Like never even heard of an IOU or anything. I was like, what? That was just crazy to me.
Yeah,
Bro,
like if she had just wrote the words "I owe you one,"
Yeah.
might have been like, "Oh, I think I get it." Like,
Yeah.
it's coming. But yeah, it was such a weird feeling. But
Bro, it's like a type of thing you only see in like movies, is like an IOU sticky note.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it was
nobody
like the
really does
smallest
that.
box.
Yeah.
It was the smallest box, and I opened it. And I'm like, this is gonna be some bullshit, whatever. Or I thought maybe it'd be like money, or I don't know. And
That's great.
yeah, I owe you one GameCube. But you were saying the games that you like couldn't play reminded me of when I got my Xbox. Of course, I was like so far behind with like the generations of like getting a 360 that late. That like we had several friends that like had old 360 games that they just didn't give a shit about anymore. Like they would be get rid of them, And so I got some games from like a couple friends, like a couple of my brother's friends and whatever. And I didn't even have to like pay for them. They were like, yeah, I'm never gonna play these again. They're not worth it. But one of the games that I was excited about was Modern Warfare 2, because I'd heard that was like the best one. Like everybody loves that game.
Yeah.
All of the games worked except Modern
that
Warfare
one.
2. That Modern Warfare 2 was the only one that was like scratched enough to not work.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
literally always how it happens.
And it's like it's still sitting on the shelf somewhere at home, just because I like didn't have the heart to throw it away.
Man.
I was like, God, I wish I could have played this game.
Yeah, for real.
That was me with my Wii, dude. I had all these games, then Super Mario Galaxy. Like you could literally play it until you started walking like down the path to the start to the castle, and then it just crashes like on the same spot every time. I sat there for like a month and learned how to hack my Wii to play Super Mario Galaxy on like a rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finally did it.
Wow.
I even went to like a nostalgia game store, like a retro game store. Bought a copy of Super Mario Galaxy for like $40 on the Wii. Like it was $40, bro. Brand new disc. Looks like it had never been touched. Like I don't know if it's something with the Wii like messing up, but crashed. Same spot again. Like,
man,
God,
that's
bro.
weird.
That's crazy to think. Like this is like kind of a layered statement, I guess, but like it's crazy to think that we will go through like such lengths to like download an old game and like re-experience it. But like I don't give a fuck to re-download Fallout 4 and like get within 5 minutes of the fucking intro again. You know what I mean? It's like games don't capture your like brain as heavily as they used to, I feel. And I get that like, growing up's part of that, but like it's just it feels like part of the creativity has gone in a way, and it's become like, this is a sandbox game more than like anything else. You know what I mean? Too many sandbox games rather than just like linear like experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
It's really not getting older either. It's like I can, like you said, I've never beat Fallout 4 to this day, never. But I can go sit down and play Oblivion right now and beat it like it's nothing. You know, like
exactly.
Have a ball in time, spend countless hours on it. But I start playing Fallout 4. I'm like, dude, I just can't. Like I just can't do it.
I was watching an interview with Sal from Impractical Jokers, and he like summed this up pretty exact. And he was talking about like how he's just like he's super nostalgic, and he said that I long for nostalgia, and you know I do everything I can to try to like relive the past and like experience those experiences that I've had before again. And I can't, and I can't, and I won't ever be able to get over the fact that I can't experience that experience exactly again.
Yeah.
And then when I have people I also can't understand when I have people trying to tell me that now is the nostalgia, you know, like I can't wrap my head around that I'm going to be nostalgic for now in the future too. And I can't put myself and live in the now either, because that just stresses me out too much and it puts too much in my head, and I'm just like too crushed at that thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that everything's just slipping away in an instant, you know, like it was slipping through your fingers always, you know, and it's just
it's one final attempt at grasping what was and what will never be again.
That just gives me existential dread to a degree. And he summed it up so well. Like I obviously butchered how he said it, but you know,
I understand.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It's kind of like it's similar to the concept of like when you're really angry and somebody tells you to calm down. You're like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's you're being like super
like
nostalgic.
That. Yeah.
Like, well, just gotta live in the moment, man. It's like, well, I can't do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've replayed,
past, dude.
Yeah.
I've replayed Zelda Twilight Princess like a ton of times. Like even now, I mean, I play it like every year pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll go back and replay the whole thing, and I still don't get bored with that game. And I mean, it's a little different with Zelda because like they've had the same exact formula ever since they've been making games. It's just a different, setting or some characters are different and yada yada.
Right.
Like there's something about that specific one, and I'm like 99% positive it's just because it hit me at a certain point in my life where it was like that.
Twilight Princess has like the best. I don't know.
It's like just the environment is so good, dude. Like the graphics, the style of everything is
It's how I would imagine like Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah,
It's got a good vibe, man. It's friendly, but it's got like a dark undertone. It's like it's just sick. Well, it's like kind of like a Shadow of Colossus type vibe. I don't know.
That set the standard for how Link looked as well. It was almost the standard of how the whole franchise was going to be for a little while before they, changed it up again. Because, like, if you go back at the time, which of course it was, at the time, so it's pretty apt. But, like, in Brawl or something, you have like multiple versions of Link, but like main Link is Twilight Princess in Brawl. Even though, there were other, Zelda games. They had Wind Waker Zelda or Wind Waker Link in that as well.
Toon Link.
Yeah, Toon Link and all that. And then if you go to like, Smash Bros. Now, like the Switch one, the main Link is Breath of the Wild Link now. So like they go with, each one, but like everything Link related or everything Legend of Zelda related was like styled after that. Even Skyward Sword kept that design when it came out. It was the same exact style of Link, but it's like they had a slightly, like they changed the art just enough to where it was like, you know, noticeable, but pretty much the exact same style of Link once he got his tunic and everything on.
It's a variation of the same Link.
Yeah.
It felt to me too like it was just an upgraded version of Ocarina of Time. Like that's what it felt like to me, where it was like we finally have better graphics and we can actually pull off all this other like more detailed stuff from like the N64, and it just had like the same exact feel as Ocarina of Time, but just like everything was better and everything was more. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, there's a whole. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say there's a whole like portion of that game that people don't even get to experience because they won't get past the dog levels, you know. Like I know a whole big bunch of people who haven't even played the game because they think it's just, you know, Legend of Zelda Dog Simulator and haven't gotten past the, you know, the dog missions. And it's like once you get past the first few dog missions and you're out on your own, like you only use the dog to get rid of the darkness stuff, like really, and sneak in areas, you know. And then other than that, it's like a normal Legend of Zelda game, you know. You're normally Link most of the time. You're running from place to place doing, you know, dungeons and shit. Normally it's you get your normal power-ups, you get your hook shot, you get, you know, the boots for Zora's Lake, and you know,
I mean every Legend of Zelda area's got the gimmick, you know. It's like like it's gonna have the dog gimmick, and then there's like the mirror shield gimmick.
You got the dog gimmick. You got the mirror shield gimmick.
Yeah,
you remember in like Majora's Mask where you turn into like can't remember, it's like the big Groot dude that can roll around real fast and you got to do all the racetrack. They've all got a gimmick to each area. Like, I don't know.
You got the Epona gimmick.
The Epona gimmick.
Hopping fences and playing the ocarina. Epona's tune. Why don't you go ahead and call Epona up, liberal?
Pull up your SoundCloud. Play Epona's song. See if she comes.
See where she's at. Okay, and now we're going to do a segment that we have been calling I Can't Believe It's Not Canon for the time being. So here we go. The prompt today we gave was give us an episode of Batman where Batman saves Sylvester Stallone pretending to be a vigilante superhero.
I'm doing narration and Stallone.
Okay, yeah, you'll do narration Stallone. Lou, you do Commissioner Gordon and Scarecrow and Alfred.
Okay.
And I'll be Batman.
All right.
Joe, you do the... Okay, we already went over that. So we've got that. And begin. Yeah, and we're good.
All right. Fade in. Exterior, Gotham City, night. The bat signal illuminates the night sky over Gotham City. We hear the sound of raindrops as the camera pans across the city skyline. Suddenly, we see Batman approaching the Commissioner Gordon, who is standing by his squad car.
Thank goodness you're here. Scarecrow's taking someone hostage to Ace Chemical Plant. I need your help.
I'm on it, Commissioner.
Cut to interior Ace Chemical Plant, night. Batman sneaks into the Ace Chemical Plant, navigating through the dimly lit hallways. Suddenly, he hears someone shouting in the distance. He moves quickly towards the noise to find Sylvester Stallone, dressed in a makeshift superhero costume and hallucinating. Eddie, I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. Batman approaches him cautiously.
Sylvester, it's me, Batman. You're hallucinating. We need to get you out of here.
Sylvester looks at Batman, startled. Batman? Is that really you?
Yes, it's me. We need to go, now.
As they try to leave, they suddenly hear Scarecrow's sinister laugh.
Welcome, Batman. I've been waiting for you.
Scarecrow appears, and the fear toxin starts spreading through the air. Batman tries to fight off the effects of the gas, but Sylvester is too far gone.
I can't do this. I'm not good enough.
Sylvester, you need to focus. We need to get out of here.
Suddenly, a trap is activated, and Sylvester is caught. Batman tries to free him, but the trap is too complex.
Alfred, I need your help. Scarecrow's got Sylvester.
I'm on it, sir.
As Alfred works to disable the trap, Batman fends off Scarecrow's henchmen. Eventually, Alfred is able to free Sylvester.
Sylvester, are you okay? We need to get out of here.
Sylvester looks at Batman with a confused expression.
Batman? What happened? Where am I?
We'll talk about it later. Let's get out of here.
Cut to exterior Gotham City, night. Batman and Sylvester emerge from the Ace chemical plant, with Scarecrow nowhere in sight.
Thanks for saving me, Batman. You really are the best.
No problem, Sylvester. But you need to go home and get rest. You've been through a lot.
Sylvester nods and walks away, disappearing into the night. But as Batman turns to leave, he hears a voice calling out to him.
Wait, Batman!
Batman turns around to see Sylvester approaching him again.
I just wanted to say, I think I actually saved the day back there.
I don't know if I can get through this line. Oh, shit.
I just wanted to say, I think I actually saved the day back there. I mean, I was the one who got caught in the trap. But, and I was the one who gave Scarecrow the slip. You were just kind of there.
Batman raises an eyebrow in confusion.
Sylvester, that's not what happened. I was the one who saved you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I distinctly remember taking down Scarecrow myself.
Batman starts to realize that Sylvester is beginning to gaslight him.
Sylvester, I think the fear toxin is still affecting you. You're not thinking clearly.
But Sylvester just shakes his head and walks away, still insisting that he was the hero of the night. Cut to interior Wayne Manor, night. Batman returns to Wayne Manor and is immediately greeted by Alfred over the comms.
Sir, are you alright? I've been trying to reach you for the past few minutes.
I'm fine, Alfred. What's going on?
I've just received a very strange call from Mr. Stallone. He claims that he can unmask you during the mission, and that he knows your true identity.
Batman's eyes widen in shock.
What? That's impossible. Sylvester was out of it the entire time.
Yes, sir. I tried to reason with him, but he was very insistent. He even called you by the name. Jebediah.
Batman grits his teeth in frustration.
Sylvester's still under the effects of the toxin. We need to find him and get help.
Cut to exterior Gotham City, night. Batman searches the city looking for Sylvester. Eventually, he finds him huddled in a corner, muttering to himself.
Jebediah. Jebediah.
Batman approaches him cautiously.
Sylvester. Sylvester, it's me, Batman. You're safe now.
Sylvester looks up at him with a blank expression.
It's all right, Sylvester. Let's get you home.
As they walk away, Batman can't help but feel a sense of unease. He knows that Sylvester's hallucinations were a result of the toxin, but there's a nagging feeling in the back of his mind that something isn't quite right. Cut to exterior Gotham City, night. As Sylvester and Batman walk away, we see a close-up of Sylvester's pants, which are stained with VC.
In his pants.
Oh, the toxin got to him.
Sylvester muttering,
Know what I have done without you.
That's what we're here for, Sylvester. To protect Gotham and its citizens.
Sylvester screeches and jumps from the Wayne Tower window into the stormy night.
What do you make of all this, Master Bruce? Do you think there's more to this than just the fear toxin?
Batman looks thoughtful for a moment before answering.
I don't know, Alfred. Something about the way Sylvester was acting. It just seemed too calculated, too intentional. Almost like he was trying to throw us off the trail.
What do you think his endgame is?
I'm not sure, but one thing's for certain. We need to keep an eye on him. Something tells me this isn't the last time we'll see Sylvester Stallone.
Holy shit.
Fade out.
God damn.
Gorgeous.
I could not get through that line.
I just wanted to say, I think I actually saved the day back there.
He took a second to think about it and then waited till Batman ran off. It was like, wait, Batman!
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Actually, now that I thought about it, I saved
shit.
you.
Hold on a minute.
That's not what happened, Sylvester.
Well, who was there to say otherwise?
I'll never believe you, Batman. Or should I say, Jebediah?
Yeah, where the fuck did Jebediah come from?
Where did he
I
live?
added to the prompt that because he was like fucked up or whatever.
Yeah.
That he thinks that he knows Batman's identity, but he keeps getting that he confidently says the name wrong, and nobody corrects him. So that's.
I'm just imagining the phone call of him and Alfred, like Sylvester all distraught. You think I don't know, Alfred? You tell Jebediah he better meet me in the Gotham Gaslight by 12 tonight. Well,
Yeah, like he thinks he's got him. He thinks he's got him under his thumb, and he doesn't doubt himself because he thinks that they're just trying to cover it up.
I know I got you, Jebediah.
I think I was the one who saved the night tonight.
I just wanted to say. Wait, Batman. I just wanted to say. I think I actually saved the day back there.
Calls him back to fucking take credit for it.
Yeah, like he even says, "Thanks for saving me, Batman." He says, "Thanks for saving me, Batman. You really are the best." And he said,
"Oh shit!"
Calls him back.
Wait, Batman.
He screamed it real loud. Batman was already like 4 rooftops over, and he got concerned. He came back.
He was like in distress again.
Batman, wait!
Yeah.
Instantly bat claws up to like a rafter and flies over there. You know what? Now that I said you for a moment.
I got a call from Sylvester Stallone. He claims he knows your true identity. That's impossible.
Oh man!
You tell Jebediah if he's not at his chemicals.
Yeah.
God.